What's good, good people? Welcome back again to another podcast presentation of the Yosef's 2 Cents Talk Show. As always, I'm your man, Yosef X. And on tonight's episode, I want to talk about a blessing in disguise. With so much insanity going on in the world, it's very, very easy to become discouraged, always feeling down, looking down. But there is a bright side to things. There is always a positive in a negative, especially with Johnny Depp winning his defamation case earlier today. So sit back, unwind, max and relax and chill. And for the next few minutes, let us do what we always do. Let us sit down and let us reason together. I'll be right back after this. Let's see who's joined us. Sister Early, what's going on? Thanks for joining us tonight. Happy to have you with us. On the Facebook side, I see there's quite a few of y'all that have come on and joined us on the Facebook side. Brother Lee, what's going on, bruh? Nice to see you, man. It has been a long time. Happy to have you with us tonight, man. Yeah, man. Good to see you. Good to see all of you here tonight. I'm definitely not going to be on long here tonight, but there is a lot of ground for us to cover tonight. Excuse me. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Early today, we have heard the news of Johnny Depp, the well-known and respected actor, won his defamation case against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. Brother Barron, what's going on, my friend? Thank you for joining us tonight. Always a pleasure. And I have to say that, This world is, in general, is weaponized against us men. It is. Black men, white men, Asian. I mean, if you're masculine and if you think for yourself and you're not a brown noser, I guarantee you, we are hated. We are. I mean, there's absolutely no way around it. We are absolutely hated and we are absolutely despised. But to see that Johnny Depp won his defamation case, to me, that's a breath of fresh air. I say that because you have too many men that are just bowing down and, accepting defeat, accepting all of the trash and accepting all of the garbage that the mainstream media is always, force feeding us and anybody who will listen to this trash. I'm glad for Johnny Depp, excuse me. I'm glad for him. I'm happy for him because for too long, toxic women, not all women, but toxic women, have gotten away with destroying men and men not putting up a fight. It is so good to see a man that's actually innocent of any and all wrongdoing finally become vindicated. There's my newfound friend, uh, Sister James. Good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us on the Facebook side. You kept your word. You certainly kept your word. And we are happy to have you to come on the Facebook side. Happy to have you with us. And, but yes, but you know what? As difficult as it was for him to undergo that long-term war with his ex-wife, I tell you something, it serves as a blessing in disguise. You know why it serves as a blessing in disguise? Because all of us, with any ounce of common sense, and all of us that has any kind of intelligence realizes we continue to find out who is who and who is not. We continue to find out who's who and who's not. We continue to find out who is our allies and who is our enemies. We continue to find out who continues to be our friend and who is really our foes. Miss Bianca, good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us. We continue to find out who is who and who is not. And for those of you that have been following me faithfully and religiously on Facebook and YouTube, you know, as well as I do, I have been saying this for the very, very longest. I've been saying this for the longest. I have. We continue to find out who is who and who is not. Who truly is our friend and who is our foe. And this is no different. This is not no different. Any man any self-respecting man and any self-respecting woman that has not gotten themselves caught up in this whole feminist manifesto propaganda and sees right through the nonsense, and they have continued to be a virtuous woman, kudos to you. J. Cole, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us. And all of this, once again, just serves as for me, a perfect and divine reminder. We continue to find out who's who and who is not. And some people aren't really our own people. They just look like they're our people, but in terms of their mindsets, in terms of their psychological apparatus, in terms of their psychological hygiene, nah, far from it. Far from it. They look the part, but believe me, they are not our people. They're not really our people. They're not really our friends. Never have been. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this. How many times have you heard me say, we continue to discover who's who and who's not, for as long as you've been following me, right? That's one of Yosef X's old sayings. We continue to find out who is who and who is not. Let's go deeper, and I'm going to get to your observations in a moment. Not only is some of our people not our friends and not our people, they don't belong to the Most High either. I hear people all the time talk about, well, I belong to the Lord. I belong to God. Well, do you obey him? Do you obey what it is said in his laws and statutes and commandments? Do you even at least try to? And chances are you will not hear anything. You won't hear anything at all. Let me get to your observations right quick. My homeboy brother Lee says the feminists are quiet. Boy, they're super quiet. You ain't kidding. The feminists are quiet, haven't said a word. That's what defeat looks like for the women Me Too movement. He continues. Sure did. You have many jobs now that are quick to fire women if they found out they lied on a man. I'm glad. See? Every dog has his day. Every dog has his day. J. Cole says Amber Heard trial basically destroyed the Me Too movement. They took a big L today. They sure did. And Brother Barron said every podcast. You're right, Brother Barron. I have been saying that every podcast I have presented. Every single podcast I have said. We continue to find out who's who. And who's not. I'm telling you. This is that's how quiet the that's how quiet it's gotten. That's how quiet it is. Yep. It's the truth. I mean, this is how quiet that has gotten. So I'm gonna be honest, folks. I'm telling you. Let me do that one more time. I mean, as a matter of fact, can I ask a question, ladies and gents? Can I ask a question? My question. What's up, Mish? How you doing? Let me ask y'all a question. I got to ask y'all this. Where are all the feminists, right, and the dudes that saying believe all women? Where are they at? I'm still waiting on them. I mean, I mean, for goodness sake. I mean, they would listen. Where are all the feminists now? Where are all the goofs that's talking about believe all women? Brother Lee, you bring up a good point, bro. He said the feminist movement didn't even see Amber if Amber's okay. They sure didn't. I'm I'm telling you. Excuse me. Brother Barron says, "I'm glad my boss lady isn't that way." No, the boss lady, your boss lady is a progressive minded woman. She is. Hey, the feminists, where y'all at? I'm wait. Okay, I'll stop. Mrs. James, yeah, y'all getting a good laugh at the sound effects. Oh, oh boy. Now, here's the thing. You're right, Mrs. James. Not all women are indeed progressive thinking. It's a very small number. It really is. It's really a sad small amount. It is. It's a very very small number. It is. It's sad. Hey Johnny, let's see if the feminist is right. Oh no, they're not right. Oh boy. Oh. Well, boy. Johnny, did they win a prize? Nope. Unfortunately, they did not win. They did not win. Elder James, good evening to you, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope things are well with you. Happy to have you with us as well. You know what you feminists need? You need a good slap in the face. A real good slap face in the face. I mean, real good. That too. And a punch in the mouth too. Yeah. but but again, all of this, all of this is a blessing in disguise. You know why? I'll tell you why. Number one, all of this should be bringing us closer to the Most High. Number one. Number two, it should be bringing us who are like-minded much closer together. And number three, it should give us the motivation to walk away from those who still hold on to their delusions. I said it should. It should. It should. Now, and let me throw this out here too. The Me Too movement. I've actually have heard some of these feminists say this. It's a matter of public record. I don't remember who actually said this, but they actually said they do not care. They do not care if a man is innocent or not. They are out to destroy them. I'm paraphrasing what they said, but this is a matter of public record. Excuse me. So the feminists, do they win? Nope. They do not win. D Will, what's going on, bro? Thanks for joining us tonight. So I'll say again, their mission from day one was to destroy all men and boys, because of penis envy. Think about it. I mean, it's a sad state of affairs. But you have to remember, also keep in mind what the scripture teaches us. That the world is over to the wicked. And verse 24. Go ahead. You can go right on ahead. Mrs. James is spot on. She says we better keep our men in prayer. And brothers, we got to start praying for ourselves too. Listen, I don't know about the rest of you. I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. This victory that Johnny Depp got today, this has shot up the dopamine and serotonin levels in my brain. It has. I am elated that he won. Finally, a man gets vindicated. A man gets vindicated. And Brother Lee is spot on. He says women are about to start caring now that their livelihood is in trouble. Hey, bro, you said it. I didn't. But notice that the only kind of woman that's worried about their livelihood is the women that has not jumped on the feminist bandwagon, that did not subscribe to the manifesto of feminism. Hey, feminists. Hey, feminists. I have a very special but a short song just for you. One more time. Because you failed, you lost, it's over. It's a wrap for you. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Let's see. Mrs. James says, Elder said the same thing, and his facial expression told his feelings. Listen, absolutely. Your facial expressions, ladies and gentlemen, they tell a huge story. They say a lot. Brother Lee says that's true. Yeah, man. If a woman who stuck to her traditional beliefs and did not subscribe to the feminist manifesto, they ain't got a hill of beans to worry about. They don't. They don't have a hill of beans to think about. They don't have a hill of beans to worry about. Sister Erling says facts. Brother Lee says my sister isn't a feminist. Neither is mine. I thank God that my sisters are not feminists. I thank God. But you have to remember something. Intelligence is genetic. You understand? So is being a dummy. None of my sisters are feminists. To my knowledge, none of the women in my family are feminists. They laugh at feminists. And notice that the feminists, here's the thing. They are all poverty-faced critters. They're walking eyesores. They're not the most attractive women in the world. Pay attention to this. Now, look, I crack jokes on people I used to crack jokes on people all the time. But you have to understand something. Any woman that is not attractive, that is not easy on the eyes, they will do anything and everything they can, right, to get the attention of a man. And since they can't get the attention of any man, then they resort to these tactics, which is absolutely evil and wicked and will cost a man his livelihood. But in the end, they will fail. And they will fail miserably. Think about it. I mean, it just think about it. Think about it. Oh, no problem, Giselle. I'm aware. I'm aware of that. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. It is 36 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And for those of you that are joining me on the Yosef's 2 Cents podcast, I thank you so much for joining. Like the video, share the video, tag your family and your friends on the Facebook side and on the YouTube side. Like, share, and subscribe. And donate to my cause, our cause. Our Cash App ID is $Hidden One Truth. That is $Hidden One Truth. Excuse me. Now, let me say this too. And oh, sorry. That is the new language of the feminists, because they are not saying a word right now. But what I will say is that as crazy as the times are, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Unfortunately, our family, you know, our friends, you know, but all of this can serve as blessings in disguise if we would change the way we look at it, and if we would change or refrain our psychological. Over this weekend, I lost a very dear friend of mine and a co-worker of mine. His name was Mr. Donovan Davey. Very, very respectful and honorable man. 45 years old. Shot in the neck and shot in the leg. Lost his life on his way, so I understand, to visiting his sister who had just given birth. Sure did. And to make it so bad, he was shot not too far from where one of my nephews live. See? Yes, I'm angry because it was a random act of violence. It was. No suspects that have been found. None. No suspects found at all. You know what I suspect it to be? I suspect that because there was no suspects that have been found, I believe that it was either a gang initiation in which one of these little gang bangers around here and if that is the case, there's so many ways we can look at this. We can look at it from the paradigm of possibly, and I could be way off base here, but all I'm saying, this is what I suspect it is. I'm not saying, excuse me, is concrete, but all I'm saying is that it could be, it could be a gang initiation and people have an unhealthy proclivity and a thirst for wanting to be accepted. And they would stoop low accepted. Saying it is. And I'm not saying it's not either. And you're right, Sister James, we live in a very corrupt world. And just remember what it says in Job 9:24. This world is handed over to the wicked. It's a sad state of affairs, but this is what has happened. It's sick, it's twisted, it's vile, it's savage. But the blessing, as tragic as my friend is, as my friend's death is, he left myself and he left all of us who was touched and blessed by his life. He left us a tremendous legacy. And the legacy that he left us is that there, in spite of all of the madness and in spite of all of the insanity that's going on in the world, you still have good people in the world that are willing to do the right thing for the right reason. That is one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle of the legacy of Brother Donovan. Do the right thing for the right reason. Enjoy your life, because you're here today and you could leave the very same time. Let me get to your observation. Brother Lee says, the pandemic is a total wreck. The economy is on its last leg and crime is rising, and it's getting difficult to purchase large amounts of ammo for weapons. It is, man. Excuse me. No lies are told. No lies are told. No lies are told. It's sad. Now, I want to get your honest opinion about all of this. I really do. And there's no there's no right or wrong answer about this. But I really want to know from you. Sister Earlene says the pandemic was planned. J. Cole says they're trying to ban the sale of handguns in Canada. That's not going to stop gangbangers. It will be much easier to commit crimes now. Yeah. Yeah. Now let me ask you. Answer. I want to know from you. Planned? Is it psychops? You tell me. What do you think? And like I said, there is no right or wrong answers. You tell me. Brother Lee says that is true. It's getting let me, bro. In addition to that, you know what I also think could quite possibly be the case? I could possibly also believe that those good men and good women who have tried their doggonest to not live in a world of violence, and they themselves are trying their doggonest not to be so violent, eventually their savage side is going to be unleashed. People are going to have to learn self-defense. People are going to have to learn how to fire a gun, use a knife. I'm talking about these people that have tried to steer clear, that have shunned the usage of weapons and having to take up arms. But that's just what I think. But do you think I could be on to something? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you agree with Sister Earlene? She says that all of this was planned. What do you think? I've given you my 2 cents the whole entire time. But what say you? What do you think? I mean, we're living in some insane times. There is no disputing that, folks. I mean, there's absolutely no disputing that at all. But do you think that it could quite possibly, could I be on to something? Do you really think? I mean, you all tell me. I mean, there's no right or wrong answers. Huh? J. Cole says one day the government will just allow a purge night. Could very well be. Could very well be. Brother Lee says he agreed. Um, Sister James says she agrees. Brother Lee says, of course it was planned. The food shortages is planned as well. Hmm. J. Cole says, yes, it was all planned. Monkeypox was planned from last year. Now it's monkeypox and boosters, says Sister Earlene. Brother Barron says, crazy. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to tell you this. As crazy as things and people are, and believe me, I still say all of this is a blessing in disguise. It's a blessing in disguise, number one, to get us closer to the Most High, number one. Number two, for us to have a better relationship with ourselves, to reconcile with ourselves. And number three, to finally put aside all of our wickedness and come together as brothers and sisters. Dr. King was absolutely right when he said, either we're going to learn to live together as brothers or we're going to perish together as fools. I agree wholeheartedly with Dr. King and each other. Yes. Excuse me. I mean, the world continues to progressively undergo a metamorphosis. I mean, we continue to go. We continue to undergo a metamorphosis. And it's a dangerous part. See? You all have also heard me say this too. You all have also heard me say that those of us who can see beyond the veil of delusion, we continue to develop a hypersensitivity to those who still believe the hype. There is a growing hypersensitivity towards man by man. In a nutshell, we continue to undergo this is the era of separation. This is the era of separation. It really is. Yes, ma'am. You can either ask in my inbox or you can uh in the comment thread. Ask it in my inbox. Either way it goes, folks. I see the ever changing, the perpetual metamorphosis every day. It is. It's a never ending metamorphosis, and it continues to get worse. I mean, think about it. It continues to get worse. Excuse me. Sad state of affairs. But all of this continues to serve as a blessing in disguise. I'm not saying, be frightened. I'm gonna be honest. For those of you that are students of the Bible, right? For those of you that have studied the Bible faithfully, as you're studying certain passages of scripture, right? Let me ask you this. Did you ever think that you would actually become eyewitnesses to some of the things that you read? I sure didn't. I never thought in a million years that a lot of stuff that I myself have studied and read for myself, I never thought I would be an eyewitness to it. And the things that I read, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was in absolute shock, truthfully. And truth be told, also, I'm making it my business to get myself prepared for what is to come. So while everybody else continues to go all bonkers and all berserk, I'm sitting back, I'm taking notes, and I'm preparing myself for what is to come. Neither did I, J. Cole. I didn't think things would go down so quickly as it has. It is still shocking, man. It is still shocking. It is quite shocking. J. Cole continues. I also didn't think people were this stupid falling for the tricks. Neither did I, man. But see, another one of our biggest mistakes, and I admit this about myself too. I underestimated the number of foolish people. I seriously underestimated the number of foolish people. Brother Lee says people choose to be stupid because they want to lead. Oh, okay. They want to be led. Yeah. It's funny you should say that, man, because I said I said some time ago, people are much comfortable being slaves than to truly be free. Yeah. People will much rather be comfortable being slaves than to truly be free. The Bible speaks of foolish people, says Mrs. James. Yes. Uh the goats, the sheeps and the goats, the wheat from the tares, the righteous from the unrighteous. You know, I mean, think about it. You're absolutely right. J. Cole says the collective IQ of human beings is astounding. Doesn't matter their educational background. You got doctors getting scared wearing double masks when it doesn't prevent you from being sick. Listen, man, intelligence is indeed uh it's genetic, man. Intelligence is genetic. So is stupidity. It is. It is. It certainly is. We're getting ready to wrap things up. I really don't have that much to say tonight. But as we get ready to conclude, I want to say this. And I want you all to listen to me very, very, very carefully. I mean, I do the same. I I still wear my mask at work, you know, you know, because it's required at my job and other places too. I admit it, I do. But at the same time, I still practice social distancing. But a lot of this stuff, people talking about practicing social distancing, I've been doing that a lot longer. I've been doing this long before this whole pandemic, to be honest with you, truthfully. Let me say this right quick. Two things, very briefly. Number one, I want to say, most high willing, on the third Sunday, no, not third Sunday, but the third Saturday in June, that is when we will have our very first initial or inaugural virtual service. And I'm taking the House of Red podcast ministry, and I'm transforming it into a group form or group setting where only the ones that have gotten something out of my messages and out of my other podcasts long before we started the House of Bread Ministry podcast December 18th. And the reason why I'm doing that now is because I've gotten to the place in my life where I'm tired of casting my pearls among swine. It's gotten to the place now where the more I preach and the more I teach, people want to get worse. And I'm not going to exert my energies and continue to cast pearls among swine. I'm not going to continue to do that. That's first thing. And then the second thing is, ever since people really have gotten progressively worse, especially when celebrating Kevin Samuels' death, I mean, they literally were rejoicing that this man died. This was the absolute zenith. I mean, they celebrated that man's death more than they did Kobe Bryant. They celebrated that man's death more than they did David Carroll's death, if I'm not mistaken. The point is, when you become an eyewitness to the decadency of a people, excuse me, and they really don't want to do any better, what can you really do? except continue to feed those that is getting something out of your message, and they're being helped by it, and they're being strengthened, and they're being empowered by it. So that's what I've decided to do. I've decided to simply stop casting my pearls among swine, take my sandals symbolically or metaphorically, and take my sandals and dust them off, dust the sands off against the stones. And as Brother Barron and Sister Earlene has said, leave them behind. I'm leaving them behind. And for those that I know that are getting something out of it, and for those that have said that they are willing to support this new virtual church, those are the ones that I'm going to be feeding. Now, for those that I haven't seen in a long time, like Brother Lee, who else? J. Cole. Listen, J. Cole, I sent you out an invitation. Now, Brother Lee, do you want me to send you if you're still there, of course? If you're still with us, Brother Lee, if you want me to send you an invitation to join our church group, let me know, and I will definitely send you an invitation. You know, that's the place that I've gotten. That I've gotten to the place in my spiritual walk, in my salvific growth, that excuse me, that I can't continue on doing this. You understand? And the truth is, I'm not going to continue to go through trying to, get you to do right. Because at the end of the day, people are going to be people no matter what. All right, Brother Lee, I got you, man. And they're going to be, and I'm, as we go along, as the days progresses, and we get the virtual church off the ground, there's going to be certain things that I'm going to explain to you, and I'm going to be doing the same thing, but this is not the time or the place for it. But enough's enough. I would much rather have a handful of you. I would much rather have a handful of you to preach and teach and facilitate the word responsibly, the way it should, right? Than to continue on struggling and trying to preach to everybody else that is hard-headed, stiff-necked, got hot lips and a cold heart. I'd rather just walk away. I would much rather just simply walk away. I would. I'm serious. I'm serious. I would much rather have just a handful of you. And I will preach to you like I'm preaching to 25,000 folk. See? I'm being honest. And the record is just like Sister James said, when the Most High said, whether there's two or three together that's gathered together in my name, I will be in the midst of them. So I would much rather have a handful of you than to continue on you know I'm just being honest. So I'm at that point now. I've been preaching going on 22, it'll be 22 years, August 14th. Excuse me. It'll be 22 years, August 14th. Oh, you got the invite? Did you accept it, Brother Lee? So that's where I am at this point. In all sincerity. Brother Early says hallelujah. If they want to stay asleep, then let them stay in a deep sleep. I'm at that point now. August 14th, most high willing, it'll be 22 years for me. And I'm at the point now, I'd rather have a handful of you. And to all of our new members of our group, I welcome all of you. I welcome all of you. And if you know for a fact that you have like-minded brothers and sisters that's just like us, tell them about our group. Tell them about our group and tell them that we'll be more than happy to excuse me, share with you. We'll be more than happy to have them a part of our fellowship. And most high willing, we'll be able to take the virtual church and make it into a one where we can actually see each other as well. You know, I also want to conclude by saying this. Every negative has a positive in it. You're very welcome, Sister James. You're very, very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Every negative has a positive. Every negative has a positive. Every negative has a positive. If we would just learn to train our minds and our hearts to zero in on that which is positive, I guarantee you'll feel better. This whole pandemic has been a blessing in disguise. All of this madness, all of the insanity has been a blessing in disguise, because I'm discovering who's who and who's not. And there are some things that, if the Most High wills it to be so, I want to be able to share it with you in a form, in a setting where I'll be able to preach it and teach it. Now, where does that leave Yosef's 2 Cents podcast? Well, I'm going to put it up on the shelf for a while. I'm not throwing it away. But the church is more important than the podcast. And when the time is right, Yosef's 2 Cents podcast will be back on the air. So tonight and then next Wednesday night will be the final Yosef's 2 Cents podcast for a while. I'm not completely giving it up, but the church is more important. The church is more important. I'm just putting it on the shelf. I'm not putting it literally on the back burner. I'm not throwing it away. No, no, no. But the church is more important. The church is more important. There's a lot for me to share with you. There's a lot for me that I've learned that I am willing to share with you, because I believe you want to know and you have a lot of questions that has been burning in your mind and in your heart. And I also know some things that your preachers, your pastors are not going to tell you, because either they don't know themselves or they're too scared to tell you. And they want to keep you in the dark, and they want to keep you ignorant deliberately. But I don't want to do that. I really don't. I don't want to keep you in the dark. And I know for a fact that there are some burning questions you all have about a lot of things, including the Bible itself. And not just the Bible, the Quran too. You all have questions. You all have suspicions. Yes, you do. You all have suspicions. You all have questions. And I believe I have some answers for you. So, once again, Most High willing, on the 18th, I think that's the right date. Let me check the calendar right quick. Yeah, the third Saturday in this month, which is June 18th. Excuse me, I believe that's before Father's Day. One day before Father's Day, it's going to be our inaugural virtual service as a virtual church. And I'm going to let you all know the different schedules for different things. So next Wednesday night, which is June 8th, excuse me, it will be the last episode of Yosef's 2 Cents for a little while. Because, like I said, there are some things that I want to do, and the church that the Most High has laid it on my heart to start. That's going to be the focus. That is definitely going to be the focus. So mark your calendars, June 18th. Around 7 o'clock is going to be our inaugural service. And on that time, we will also have virtual communion as well. So please, ma'am, please, sir, prepare your hearts and minds for that. Govern yourselves accordingly. And we will um, we will do that. We will do that. Sister Earlene, I sent you a request earlier. I don't know if you got it or not, but I did send you one. So, but brothers, in the coming days and weeks ahead, I'm going to be sharing with you some encouraging words. But I'm hoping and praying that the victory of Johnny Depp was the kickstart that you all need to really start feeling better about yourselves. Because the media has no right to excuse me to go ahead and continue to weaponize us against ourselves, weaponize our women, we have to do better. We're men, we're leaders, we're the heads, not the tails. You understand me? It's time for us to remember who we are, and most importantly, whose we are. You understand me? I believe that. It's time for us to remember and believe who we are and whose we are. It's that time now. You understand? It's that time. We've been we've been I'm telling you, we've been disrespected long enough. It's time for changes to be made. Brother James, good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Happy to have you with us. We're men. We're the sons of the Most High. We're the sons of the Most High. Sons and daughters of the Most High. We've forgotten who we are and whose we are. So, June 8th, next Wednesday evening, will be the final presentation of Yosef's 2 cents for a while, so we can focus on this virtual church ministry. And June the 18th is when we will have our inaugural virtual service, and we will have our virtual communion service. There's so much madness going on, but guess what? Guess what? The Most High is still in charge. He is still in control. Don't give up on the Most High. Don't give up on yourselves. Brother James, I also send you an invitation to join our virtual church too. Check it out when you get the first opportunity. So, like I said, brothers and sisters, we got a lot to look forward to. We do. You and I both. We have a lot to look forward to. Yes, we do. And you feminists, where y'all at? I'm still waiting for these feminists. Where are the male feminists at? Where are the male feminists at? So the feminist says that we should believe all women. The feminist said that we should believe all women. Is that right? Oh boy. We're going to give it one more chance. Everybody that said to believe all women. Where y'all, is that right? We should believe all women, even if a man is innocent or not? Guess not. So they're fighting for all of these poverty-faced critters, huh? That's a failure. Yep. They failed. Yep. They failed. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. They failed. And they failed miserably. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah. Yep, yep. Oh yeah. You brother Baron, you know they're gonna be quiet. They sure are. Brother James, you're absolutely right. That's what these sea biscuits have been saying, man, that we should believe all women, whether they are telling the truth or not. But guess what? Guess what? I know better. We all know better. And as a result of them saying to believe all women, that's what happens. They failed miserably. Yep, yep, yep. They failed. They failed. And Mrs. James is spot on. She is absolutely right. They don't even believe themselves. And after they get through saying believe all women, this is how they feel. Yep. And some of them, for saying all this nonsense, this is what they actually deserve. Yep. That's what they deserve, folks. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Listen, I'm going to let y'all go. I hope that you all have gotten something tonight out of the message, out of our thesis for tonight. And like I said, all of us, we have a lot to look forward to. Don't give up on the Most High. Don't give up on yourselves. You don't judge the Most High on your circumstances. You judge him based on his word. You understand? That's what you do. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. Remember that. Remember that. Remember that. Well, folks, it's been a ball, but the clock on the wall says that is all for now. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for listening to me tonight. Peace, power, and blessings be upon you. Like the video, share the video, tag your family and your friends. Excuse me. And like I said, we got a lot to look forward to. We really do. Brother Barron, I'm feeling better, man. I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much better. I have to feel much better by the 18th, man. I got to preach to y'all. But I'm Yosef X, man. That's been my 2 cents. Peace, power, and blessings be upon all of you. Most High willing, I'll see you Saturday night for the House of Bread podcast ministry. Have a good one. I'm out.